Ladies and gentlemen, the European Investment Bank team, friends of IQM, and my dear colleagues from IQM who have joined us today in person at the IQM fabrication facility here in Finland, and also friends from all over the world who are joining us online right now, a warm welcome to this signing event for IQM. My name is Raghunath Kodwayur, and I head the marketing and communications for IQM Quantum Computers. I was asked this question earlier today. What is so special? It's just a loan signing event, so why do we have a celebration? And my answer to that colleague today who asked me this question is one, it reinforces the fact that IQM's global ambition, the bold global ambition, is well and truly on its way. And this loan from EIB is an acknowledgement that we are on the right direction. It's not just an acknowledgement for the team, but it's also an important acknowledgement for the European quantum leadership. And this is a moment which will be remembered in the future for a long, long time. And also, an event like this, post-COVID, when we are getting out, is also important. So any moment, any event where we can all come together and have a celebration is in itself is special and worth celebrating. So with that, I am also quite proud that the European Investment Bank has committed with the team that's present here, with the president of EIB, the vice president of EIB, and a strong team who are visiting IQM today. And this doesn't happen often. So this is an absolute honor, and on behalf of IQM and the entire IQM family, I welcome all the guests here, all the friends of IQM, and everyone here. Thank you for making it. We have a simple agenda today. It's a very brief one, where we go through some official remarks. We'll have a signing event, where we'll sign the official documents, and then we will also have a brief Q&A, where we have invited media and also guests to ask questions, if any. And then there is a networking cocktail that continues, where the celebration will continue, at least here in Finland. About IQM. IQM is a European leader in building quantum computers. And we have already secured over 50 million euros in contract value over the last 12 months. We are the only quantum startup in the world who has delivered an on-premise quantum computer to our partner here in Finland, VTT, and we have also given full access to this quantum computer. IQM also has a differentiated portfolio, ranging from quantum computers on premises for research centers and universities, to quantum accelerators for supercomputing centers, and most importantly, also for industrial customers, where we have a co-designed quantum computer offering. We are currently working with LRZ in Germany and also CSE in Finland. IQM is made in Europe and delivers a full-stack quantum computer. Our QPU design, from QPU design to fabrication facility, where we are here today, and to a full system integration. Our entire IP also stays in Finland and in Europe. And this is why IQM has become a European leader. Let me take this opportunity to invite Dr. Werner Hoyer, a well-known people leader and the president of European Investment Bank, to deliver his opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Hoyer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a great pleasure to be here. Thank you very much to the founders of this wonderful organization, all your guests and collaborators. It's great to be here. I'm truly impressed by the technology that you have developed and by your ambitions, although, to be honest, it will take a couple of hours before I understand the full technology.
Sure.
But I will try with best intentions. At the European Investment Bank, we are proud to support innovators and deep tech technologies, deep tech companies, not just in their research and development efforts, but also in boosting their manufacturing capacity. Quantum computing, that's still a long way to go. It's an early stage. It has the potential, however, to revolutionize many sectors, from drug and vaccine development to cybersecurity. And since we are involved in all these spheres of industrial activity in the bank, we are highly interested in what you are doing here, because that serves all. Ensuring that companies like IQM are well funded and have the tools they need to thrive is therefore key to positioning Europe as a technological leader worldwide and at the forefront of the global digital and green transition. Ladies and gentlemen, Finland has been at the forefront of research, development and innovation for many years now. I'm very proud that the EIB Group has played its part in this. Finland became member of the European Union in 1994-95, at year end of 94, and it has produced miracles since. The bank has been an important source of finance for Finnish projects, making available just over 25 billion euro to more than 200 projects since its first investment in 1994. Last year, it was also a record year for Finland, with 3 billion euros in new financing that year. We're supporting innovative Finnish SMEs and mid-caps under our venture financing program, where we directly finance tech champions such as IQM, and also through our subsidiary, the European Investment Fund, which invests in equity funds and provides loan guarantees. In 2021 only, more than 3,000 Finnish SMEs and mid-caps have obtained financing through these instruments. Europe is currently facing many challenges: post-pandemic recovery, competitiveness, climate, digital transformation, energy security, a war next door, you name it. But there are also opportunities to modernize our continent, to invest in our common future. As long-term investors, we are here to help make the most of these opportunities by investing in cutting-edge solutions. Solutions Europe needs, like the ones we are witnessing today. Let me thank you again for your hospitality and for your work, and for contributing to Finland's and Europe's cutting-edge quantum computing industry. Thank you very much for your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, guys, we need you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hoyer.
This one? Okay.
All right, next up, I'd like to invite Vice President of European Investment Bank, Mr. Thomas Ostros, on stage. Mr. Ostros' areas of interest include financing of energy, health, and life sciences, EIB Global, and also financing operations in Finland, amongst other countries. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Thomas Ostros.
Thank you very much, and it is very nice to be able to be here to meet with you and to see in practice what we are able to finance. Not least thanks to that when the pandemic hit hard everywhere globally, but not least in Europe, European member states gathered to support the EIB's possibility of support companies by creating a European guarantee fund of 25 billion euros. This guarantee fund we have been able to use to support companies all over Europe during this problematic period. And it is so nice to come to and see the practical use of these type of initiatives that was taken during the height of the pandemic. Most of you probably know EIB as a financer of bridges and hospitals and schools, infrastructure, but we are also since many years involved in supporting high-tech, innovative companies, not least here in Finland. You have a startup scene and a tech scene that is causing admiration all around Europe, and for us it is important to be here. Via our venture debt facility, provided by the European Guarantee Fund, we can take more risk than we usually can do and have more impact when it comes to supporting innovative companies that need a little bit of extra resources to grow and to go out on the markets fully. So for me it is a great honor, and I guess President Hoyer will ask me next time we have management committee meeting to in detail describe how this works.
Yes.
For me, it is more of a piece of art. It could be put on any modern museum in this beautiful context that you have shown me today. Thank you very much, and it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So, please.
Thanks.
Next, please give a warm welcome to the CEO and co-founder of IQM Quantum Computers, Dr. Girds, who will share our vision, IQM's vision, and his vision on how Europe can take and regain quantum leadership.
Thank you, Raghu, and also a warm welcome from my side here in our fabrication facilities. It's really a great pleasure and honor to have you here. After what you said, I was thinking, should I rather give a lecture in quantum physics so you have a productive board meeting? But actually, I chose to talk a little bit more about this European quantum leadership and why it's so important, and what are we as IQM or also as a community here in Finland, the Finnish ecosystem, but then also the European ecosystem contributing to this to make it a success story. And I personally think that this is very important. IQM, we have our roots here in Espoo, in Finland. We are a spin-out from Aalto University, which is the local tech university here. But of course, our ambitions are global. So we want, and you see this here in our mission statement, we want to build a world-leading product, a world-leading quantum computer. And this is why we need the financial support, and why we need the best talent, and why we need the best technology. And of course, it all goes hand in hand. Only with the best people you can create technology, and you can create a situation where you really advance the technology to be a world-leading technology that really can compete. And especially for a field like quantum computing, this is very important because it's such a strategic technology. And this is also why it is important to be careful how to use it, give it a purpose, and make sure that it stays with those people who use it in a, let's say, positive way. And this is something that also for us as a company is very important. And this also you find here in the mission statement, that we really want to use it for the well-being of humankind. So let the technology help. Something is wrong with the pointer, I think. Let the technology help advance the world. So as IQM, of course, we are not doing this alone. We were starting with a founding team of 4, and we are all still very active in the company. But meanwhile, actually, we get very broad support on all levels. And this is just a representative slide. Of course, there are many, many more people in the background who are supporting us. But of course, through our board of directors, which are experienced people in building ventures globally, but then also through other senior advisors, for example, in our Quantum Council, we get a lot of support to make sure that we are able to develop the technology. So there is really a strong base of people behind it, but also, of course, inside IQM, we have been really able to attract the best talent into the company from all places around the world, bring the talent back to Europe to make sure that we are building here the world-leading technology. And now the pointer doesn't work anymore at all.
Reading.
Can someone go to the next slide?
Heinrich von Piran Siemens.
Yeah, so having the European focus is very important for us, and we try to be a very active part of the European ecosystem. And we think that building a quantum computer is such a complex task that you cannot do alone, not as a single company, maybe not as a single country, but it's really something where you need a complete ecosystem. And I think the positive thing is that in Europe we have this ecosystem. We have excellent universities which are producing the best talent on this planet. But then also we have still very strong companies, big corporates who are interested. And we are also very active there in these consortia to make sure that at some point when the technology is ready, you mentioned it still takes a few years, that then also these corporates are ready and they have in-house the capability actually to use it. This is something very important. So make sure that the education is there. And for all of this, of course, we as an ecosystem, we need money. So the universities, they need their funding. And Europe has a very strong program. They are a quantum flagship for quantum technologies, but then also the SMEs, they need the funding. There's, for example, through the European Innovation Council now, very good instruments to fund the SMEs to make sure that the technology will be there and we use it then out of Europe. So what do we contribute as IQM to this big European ecosystem? We are a systems company, so we build complete quantum computing systems, but we don't build all the individual components all ourselves. So there are, for example, also if you look at the Finnish ecosystems, there are very strong companies who help us in building the complete system. So the cryogenics, for example, comes from Bluefors, another very strong success example here from Finland, and then cables and connectors, we get this off the shelf, but then the innovative innovative part, this is kind of what we develop, which is the chips, the processors. So this is what we develop in-house. We design them. We have very strong design and simulation tools for them. Then we produce them, and I will go in a little bit more detail about this, because this is what we do here in the fabrication facilities. And then we build the complete system around this. So this is kind of the innovation that we drive. Of course, we create a lot of IP. We protect the IP. We make sure that it stays here in Europe. And we then, in the end, also have the value creation here in Europe. So today we are here in our fabrication facilities, and I think in times of chip shortage globally, it's very important to have this capability of really producing the chips ourselves and making sure that the technology has an ability to scale. So once it's ready for industry, that we are able really to produce these systems at scale. And this is why it's so important to really invest into the infrastructure, invest into the capabilities that we have here. And this is what, to a large extent, actually is being funded by the EIB. And we are very thankful for this, because it really helps us bringing the company to the next level. But then, of course, we are also happy to see new initiatives like the European Chips Act that is currently being developed. The way we read it, that there is also maybe some money reserved for quantum. And I think this is really a great thing to look into the future, make sure that also in the future we have the technology, new technologies like quantum supported in Europe through instruments like the European Chips Act. So with this, I really would like to thank you for your continuous support. I hope it's just the beginning of the journey, and we go it all the way until the end, where we have all the value creation through this new and exciting technology. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now thank you. So now can I please ask our head of finance, Pia Johanna, to also join us on stage, please? Pia Johanna Lemeti. While can we also set up the table here for the signing ceremony? And can someone also get the contracts for us, or the copies for us, please? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we have pen.
So,
there are 2 copies. Jan?
Shouldn't we have 3?
You can also put
I think we have 2.
you can also put
do we have the third one?
Please.
Okay. Oh, that was it. Thank God. Old style. Thank you.
Careful.
You can just, under my signature, put your name.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you for that. Correct.
Okay, so this one's for you.
Okay.
That's for you. If you can also have a photography of these things.
You keep it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome, a warm applause to the team here. Thank
There
you.
goes the money.
Please.
Now that the money is here, let's start celebrating.
Thank you so much.
Jan, would you like to say something?
So again, thanks everyone for joining us here for this very pleasant event. I'm looking forward to have many more of them in the near future when we are announcing the next breakthrough results. So thanks again, thanks to the EIB for the continuous support, and let's all toast to the success of quantum computing. Cheers.
To the
Cheers.
success.
Cheers.
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 Thank you, Pia. Now, if you can also clear the stage, please, then we'll go on to the Q&A.
Oh.
Thank you.
So, Thomas, we need to work, I guess.
Thank you, Pia. So if someone online has a question, then we are also monitoring them here. While to get started, I can have the first question to Jan. Maybe Jan, first thing is congratulations. Now, you've been emphasizing on the point that EU should become self-reliant with technology first. And all your discussions and presentations have been about European quantum leadership. So how will this funding be used to achieve this?
Yeah, of course, building a quantum computer is a complex task. And there's not a single thing that needs to be done, but a broad variety of things. And the funding will actually help us on many levels of building the quantum computer. Of course, one key aspect is the production of the quantum chips, which are the heart of it. But actually, we use the money wisely to make sure that at all levels of the quantum computer, we make breakthrough developments, and we make also the company ready for this production phase, so that once we get more and more customers, we are actually able then also to deliver. And this is why it's important to have infrastructure, but also to have solutions ready. And this is how the money will be used.
Thank you. So just to get into the specifics on the loan, so that's been one of the questions that has been asked. So today we are announcing a 35 million euros loan from EIB, which will be used for IQM's quantum fabrication facility, where we are here today. This funding will be used to accelerate the development of our quantum processes and also commercialization of quantum processes. And quantum computing is considered a sector of strategic importance for European Union, with potential to revolutionize many sectors. And this is one of those commitments where we see clear financial support for growth startups like IQM. In addition, we would also like to thank the EIB Advisory Services team, which has been supporting us throughout this preparation of this financing application, and it has been of great help. Now, moving on to the next question, maybe I can ask Dr. Werner Hoyer, what is the role of public institutions like EIB to accelerate innovation, especially deep tech companies? So what are your views on that?
Well, for us, it's part, is that on? For us, it's part of our DNA. It goes without saying that we need to be very active here, because we are talking about products, procedures, processes, and policies which require huge amounts of capital, also in areas where the outcome is uncertain. So risk is the name of the game. And there are developments in our innovative world where the individual capital provider would not be able already to take that risk. So you need to have a broader portfolio in order to balance out the gains and the losses. And when you go into innovation, there will be losses as well, let's face it. And the second thing is, and that's where a public institution comes in. I mean, I avoided the roadshow for the bank at the beginning. But we are a bank owned by the 27 member states of the European Union. And this gives us a lot of backing, together, of course, with the cooperation with the European Commission. And that means that in certain situations, we set up special vehicles. And in the corona crisis, the COVID crisis, we set out the special vehicle, the European Guarantee Fund, from which this project here benefits, because there it is not the European Union, but the member states of the European Union said, okay, we come up with a guarantee of 25 billion euros for risky projects. We give you this guarantee because we believe that you are not going to waste the money or put it into the hopeless projects, but at the end of the day, you will bring about something that's on the bottom line successful, with a factor of 8, by the way. That's quite significant. So this European Guarantee Fund is the basis for this kind of action, and that, for me, as a market economist, justifies the intervention of a public entity, because the public sector alone could not, the private sector alone could not do that.
Thank you. So the next question which we have received online for Thomas would be, how do you see the current chips shortage, and should EIB play a bigger role in supporting manufacturing to mitigate this risk in the future?
Yes, of course, it is a crucial time period now for many companies, with very large difficulties to get access to the chips needed, and that is halting production everywhere in Europe and globally. And I think we need to learn some lessons from that. The first lesson is not to say, let's skip global trade and free movement of goods. I think that is crucial for, not least for countries like Finland and my country, Sweden, that are totally dependent on global markets. But Europe needs to be able to invest strategically in competence and production capacity. And I think this is the discussion that is ongoing now in Europe, how to do that in practice. And we are ready to be part of that discussion. One of the good things with the EIB is that we have wonderful financial engineers. I mean, I'm very grateful for the possibility of sort of constructing deals that we can make because we have huge competence on that area. But we also bank with many real engineers or science-based people from different fields of science that can help us to assess what is technically viable together with what is commercially viable, and how can we construct a loan with both these knowledges at hand. And that means that we can be a catalyst, because I know many investors that sort of hesitates when it comes to deep tech, because they, of course, don't have the knowledge themselves. But we can be a catalyst when we do an assessment like this, and we make a move, we see often other private investors come along, because then they know that there's been a thorough due diligence. And I think that will be the case also when it comes to possible chips production.
Thank you, sir. So maybe the next question is for Jan, which we have received from a startup friend. So what was the process to get this funding, and what is next for IQM?
Well, let's say it was a great learning curve for us. So we as a company, we have learned a lot walking through this process. I must admit, when I had the very first call with the team from the EIB, I didn't really know what this is about. And here also thanks again to the team from the EIB. I think it was really a great process, and I think it was a learning curve on both sides. Maybe you learned more about the quantum technology and what it's good for, and picking up your argument, we learned a lot kind of what does it mean to go through such a high quality investment process. And of course, in the beginning, it's about getting to know each other, getting on our side to know, okay, what is this financing about? On their side, maybe what is quantum technologies about? And it's also about creating trust. I think also when you talk about financing, it's about creating trust. On our side, can our team deliver? And I hope we could convince here the team. And then basically, if you're familiar with financing, you go through a regular due diligence process. You have to kind of tick all the boxes. And of course, you have to convince then the other side that your technology is world leading. This is what I was talking about. And I'm very confident that we have this kind of technology. And now we are here. And this is the, let's say, the end of the formal process. For me, it's the beginning, let's say, of the future, how we work together then.
And what's next for IQM?
Well, next for IQM, of course, is also bringing more commercial traction to the site. So sure. You have mentioned it. We have here the very first customer in Finland, VTT, and then in Munich, LRZ. Actually, there's another now opportunity on the European level. So there's, through this Euro HPC program at the moment, activities to equip European supercomputing centers with quantum computers. As IQM, we want to play a big role in this as well. But actually, we also see interest from other research and computing centers in getting our products. And then on the product side, of course, we also will develop them further, building bigger and bigger quantum computers.
Perfect. Thank you. So that was the time we had for the Q&A. What we can do is, can I request all the co-founders to come on stage, please, for a photo shoot? Kuan?
Bring the
glasses.
glasses.
With the glasses.
Bring the glasses.
Otherwise, we look bad.
Exactly.
We are former politicians. We are not that stupid. So.
Do we stand? Or?
Yes,
Yes,
let's stand.
Please come closer.
Oh, you already would.
Oh. All right. To your success. Okay, and we mean it. So,
thank you. So this is the time to bid goodbye to all our audience who are joining us online, while the celebrations will continue in Finland, and we'll also have a few more guests who will join us shortly. We look forward to hosting all of you again in Finland or in any other offices around the world for IQM. And then thank you and have a great day. And thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another